understanding that I was masking and understanding just the concept of masking and that I was unconsciously masking was such a big aha moment that as I pulled on that thread, I was able to go, oh my God, that's autism behind that door. That's where all of that is how we can at such an early age. How do we find our way into doing that so quickly?
So such a good question. First, also just the way something hit me about the way you talked about masking just now of, can we have more conversations about that? The felt experience of masking and the impact on our psychology, on our identity. I hear it in how you even ask that question. Like it's so often the conversation becomes, is masking good or bad? How do you unmask? Like it's very pragmatic.
Yeah.
But like, can we just sit with, oh my gosh, what is it like to have this thing that we do or much of our life and not have a name for it?
Yeah.
I'll post it, bookmark it over here for that. To answer the question, this is where I really love the work of Amy Pearson and Kieran Rose, who really shifted the conversation around autistic camouflaging from this like early research, which was done by allistic, non-autistic people, was like, it is a kind of social strategy autistic people use to blend in. Mm-hmm. And that's where Amy Pearson and Kieran Rose were like, no, actually, this is a survival tactic and it's a trauma response. And it often happens really early. It often happens unconsciously. Not for everyone. For some people, it will be a more conscious thing that comes online later. And then, of course, for some people, it never is something they do. Mm-hmm. But I think, especially for those of us who perhaps have a lot of like sensitivity and maybe even rejection sensitivity and who pick up cues around us quite sensitively, we're going to notice those shifts. Like if a parent is harsh with us, or if it's, hey, make eye contact. And if we are punished for our autistic traits, right, the brain is really good at learning. And by learning, I mean, it pays attention to things that are reinforcing and rewarding, and it does more of those things. Yeah. And so at a very young age, especially depending on how we were parented around our autistic traits, we might have learned this is how I stay safe, is by doing these things, by not wiggling when I want to, by forcing myself to do eye contact. And then it just becomes baked into our psyche. And we assume, I don't know about for you, but for me, I just assumed everyone was doing this.
Yeah.